24 of the most dominant teams in the world will step onto the Garena City grid for the first time today. Teams who swept through their regions and left their opponents in the dust. But now they stand at the base of a mountain faced with an almost impossible climb. Well, let me take this opportunity to remind you that this is your chance to instill the fear of combat into your opponents. Don't hold back, don't hesitate, and trust in your teammates.
The damage comes through at Loud. All they have to do is just rush forward, and they're completely surrounded from every single angle. And Loud, once again, a booyah!
It might be a loss, they turn it around, and Box is the last one standing. It's going to be very difficult, but also Box struggling unholy along with the help of MIB a loss, and it's going to be MIB a loss getting the very first Booyah of Group B. Looking for the final player, Kororo, looking for that recovery, and they will be denied. Has put it on, pulls away the third Booyah of the day to take the #1 spot on the leaderboard. And Lion are losing players one after another, and as that happens, even Dix gets eliminated, and Games King was the last man standing. And it is going to be MIB a loss getting the final Booyah of Group B's Day 1. Our eyes on the teams who are in the top 4 slots as well as the bottom 2. Today is the chance for early qualifiers. Today is an unfortunate moment of heartbreak for 2 teams who will get to go on a little bit of a holiday here in Paris before they fly back home. But who is it going to be? Mia Corp, Straw Hats down at the bottom, and SHUL a little bit too dangerously close to them.
Yeah, because today is anyone's game.
Oh, yeah.
Game 1, or at least Group A, was a story where any team could still make it big and survive. And I'm wondering if Group B will tell us the same story. Yesterday, loss went huge. 3 Booyahs ending the day strong. And I'm pretty sure that every other team in this group as well want to replicate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, games back to back, I don't think they're going to be at risk of getting kicked out of the top 4.
Absolutely. I think one thing's for sure, though, everyone wants to maintain that top 2 slot. After all, again, you get a holiday, you get a direct slot to that finals.
Yeah.
And on top of that as well, you mentioned just now during, the desk, right, about how hard it would be to be playing through that survival stage. It's going to be hard, it's going to be lethal, and most importantly, it's going to be mind-bogglingly stressful.
Yeah, absolutely, because we have got the best of the best from around the world. We've only got like 4 slots. I guess a little bit of a blessing as you take these super titans out of the race. Now you get to go up against teams who are maybe just a tad bit better than you, right? Because you're taking out the teams who are down at the very bottom, so no easy picking. I think it's going to be ruthless. It is going to be very challenging for the teams to maintain consistency when we get into the survival stage. But of course, beyond all of that, if any teams do manage to show us a constant streak throughout those 10 games, I mean, color me surprised for sure, but I'm looking forward to a situation like that. What's going to be the fate of the Indian teams? Now, we saw the support for Shoto. He's got his family members here, but for the rest of the Indian squad, I hope...
In Group B.
Absolutely. Fluxo, the potential of them going all out today, I really don't see it, right? Because at the end of the day, this is a team that usually flies under the radar, and when it's definitely needed at the finals, that's exactly when they show you what they're truly capable of. That being said, though, 2 years back-to-back, they haven't been able to grab that trophy. Not only were they not able to grab the trophy, they were nowhere close to walking away with the trophy here at the Esports World Cup for Free Fire. So perhaps they want to change their tactic up a tad bit this time round. They're currently sitting in the 3rd, not too far away from MIB loss. I feel like 1 game can allow them to catch up. 2 games should allow them to overtake MIBR lot. But that is, of course, a question. Is MIBR going to allow such a thing to happen today as well?
Yeah, because yesterday they were on a streak. They were taking advantage of the fact that everyone is going to be cautious. It was very high-risk play, but it worked out very well in their favor. And now today, after hearing about what's happening in Brazil, right, them in the regular season, how they were the boogeymen, how they were always back-to-back-to-backing when it comes to those Booyahs, can they bring that happening here today? Because definitely they had changed their strats from yesterday till today, but that is why things get really interesting, because definitely all eyes are on this top two. I'm sure no way in hell do they want to go into survival stage, but they have the capability of making it into the top two.
Yeah, and shout out to Chris Joe as well. Vitality has been whooping some butt out there on the battlefield. Who would have expected Vitality to do even better than their Brick Brothers RRQ, who yesterday did manage to walk away with one Booyah to their name, but not in the top four just. Vitality, on the other hand, are doing better than Fluxo as well as Twisted Minds. A big factor. I feel like they definitely need the confidence boost. Seeing Vitality make that early access into the grand finals is definitely going to be fantastic for them. We've got the RRQ fans out here versus the Fluxo fans as well.
Yeah.
Who can be louder? Who will have these smiles on their faces by the end of these 6 games?
And also, most importantly, who will be silenced by the end as well? I'm really curious to see who it's going to be. But we all know who's the loudest of RRQ. Conchita in the backstage. She was screaming for them.
I highly doubt Conchita only screams for RRQ. That woman is unbiased. She wants to scream for everyone, but she sees the potential in the kingdom of RRQ. But I have to tell you, the Fluxo fans are a tad bit more lively, right? I want to see that exact same energy from the opposite end as well. RRQ, y'all need to stand up. Y'all need to make some noise, baby.
Y'all need to yell, that's for sure. Give your energy to your favorite team as we go into this game. Oh, they're starting to dance here. There we go. That's energy.
More energy, RRQ. More energy.
Yeah, I want to hear them sing. I mean, we hear a lot of the Fluxo chants, right? Yeah, so I need to hear them start singing, start yelling, because they do have a chant.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're eventually going to hear it. And I hope seriously cheer their team on, because the kingdom of RRQ just tend to get disappointed a tad bit too early sometimes. And I know RRQ is not really looking to go wild out there on the battlefield today, but it would be nice to have that early access into the grand finals. But knowing the team, knowing how they play, and how they do love getting some extra experience out there, seeing exactly how well the rest of the teams can do, I think RRQ might be taking it a tad bit slower this time around as well. You also have to look at the teams who are trying to maintain the top 4 spots, right? Twisted Minds, Fluxo, MIBR lost. These 3 teams are going to be very difficult to knock off. The closest ones that RRQ understands in terms of rotation, in terms of their play style, is going to be Vitality. So maybe some infighting. Maybe we're going to find a little bit of a battle between the 2 Indonesian squads out there.
Yeah, Conchita said that's a term for that in Bahasa Indonesia. Perang serumpun, she says.
All right.
Yeah, so that is something that I wouldn't be surprised to see as well. I do agree with you. The rotation is going to be happening. They can go for that as well. And I also really am excited to see if any of the bottom teams could actually just surprise us as well. I think Total Gaming Esports as well didn't really have the best of days yesterday. Maybe a reset today would be something. I mean, you talked about how this is the first year that India has made
there. Every mistake that the Indian teams make, on the other hand, you're going to see some harsh comments on YouTube. You're going to see some harsh posts later on. So they need to avoid that. But of course, they need to play for themselves. This is something that they've been working for the past few years. And this is where you really have to go all out. Everything's on the table. But even if they do not do that, I am not going to be tickled by it at all. As long as they avoid the bottom 2 spots. Because I do want to see more from the Indian squads. So having them at the survival stage, I think I'm going to be quite happy about it. about it.
Yeah, I think I'm also very excited to see this as well as we go into this later. I think one thing's for sure though, when you talk about so many of these teams, compared to say Group A,
Yeah.
which means I would say a cutthroat group. Group B, I think, is something a little bit more anyone can be making anything happen, right? So that is where we really have to be paying attention.
Yeah, absolutely right. If you look at whether or not Group A truly was cutthroat, yeah, you've got so many Titans in there, you see a lot of eliminations, but because you don't have as many Titans in here in Group B, you're back to an even playing field. So it's not any easier in Group B at the moment for survival. You're still going up against world-class squads out here. But of course, this is game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As we hop on into Bermuda, the flight path is going to be dictating quite a number of things, and the first one is going to be who's out of the flight first. It's MRBR Lost, RRQ, as well as Team Secret. And Team Secret's another team that we definitely have to talk about. This team, the current kings of Southeast Asia, and some may argue Southeast Asia might just be one of the toughest lobbies out there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, you know, when we talked about that as well, I think a lot of our fingers were pointed toward that Group A, right? We saw what happened from Buram United. It was really scary seeing them on that day 1 as well. But at the same time, in this lobby, you know, Southeast Asia, and we're meeting up against, I would say, one of the hard hitters, which is going to be Brazil as well.
Yeah.
And again, when you look at the group stage leaders, Lost really put a big lead between themselves and the rest of the pack as well. Yeah, it's going to be easy to catch up. I mean, coming into a few matches more today, if they can maintain that consistency, or many other teams can do so. But right now, undeniably, at least for day 1, Southeast Asia is at the top.
I mean, Southeast Asia being at the top is no surprise to me at this point of time because of what they've shown us historically, what they're capable of doing. Al Ahly, on the other hand, yesterday, I feel like they had a decent enough run. Sifu was knocked down, but Simox is there to find the instant recovery for his buddy, and they will not have to waste their time going in for the revival. But it looks like Vitality wants a big fight. The launchpad is going to be putting them in the best spot to knock down Simox. Sifu, barely any health left on him. He's going in with the medkit, double riptide rhythm, breaks down his defenses though, exposing him, but Diggs is just a tad bit too busy patching himself up. On the opposite side, Vitality versus RRQ. This is an infighting. What was that Serumpun you said there?
Perang Serumpun.
Perang Serumpun. That's exactly what we're having out here between the two brothers.
Yeah, and now Dudes on the very top side here, putting in the damage from above, and Joel will be done. No, it's not, because Dix is there to make sure his teammate remains alive. Rans also falls, and Abai falls to reposition, finding a different way to bring his team back into the game.
Oh, it looks like this little battle between RRQ and Vitality might have to take a pause here as Straw Hats drops by to say hello. This is a survival battle for Straw Hats. Can they overwhelm RRQ, who are already hurt, already injured? They just need to take 2 players out of the equation, but that is easier said than done. Vitality's not abandoning the compound just yet. Straw Hats picking each other right back up, and they're sticking together. They do have a chance in here if they can continue with this level of aggression.
This is exciting already. We already saw or anticipated what was going to be happening early. Now, Vitality waiting in the wings, hoping to see who shows their hand first. Straw Hats waiting. Who will be the one to show his first shot here? Dix takes a bit of damage, but never more than that. And for the rest of the team, Vitality, at least for Dix, he's going to be completely crunched from multiple angles here. What are you going to do when this collapse happens?
Yeah, information comes on through, and Straw Hats flood in, getting their 5th elimination. This is what you gotta do if you're the Straw Hats. Kaizoku Oni, Orewa Naru, that's what they want to say as they rise up to the top. But unfortunately, only one can be the King of Pirates for the squad. So they'll have to figure it out between themselves exactly who's gonna be that Joy Boy, Joel, as well as Seabang. Team Vitality taking quite a beating very early on in the game. They've got the coins to bring back their buddies though. But only one revival here. Joel still needs to hit those coin machines that are in the compound. Leon, on the other hand, in a little bit of a pickle here if SATUL gets this vantage point and takes Della out of the equation, who's trying to put a little bit of distance between himself and SATUL. That one shot finding the connection. Della still alive and kicking out there on the battlefield. Troll shut down by Joker. The flank around the right with the BSK. allows Leon to take control of this compound.
Yeah, crazy stuff coming from him as well. And it was almost like he was really undetected throughout the entire moment this was happening. SAUL not going to be reacting off this though. They're just going to be chilling and waiting and biding for time as time goes. And I'm really curious to see what's happening on this side because Huang has been already knocked out by Nix here, by Mia. And this is another team that is really trying their best to keep themselves still in the game.
Leon yesterday, they had no placement points off of Bermuda and 5 eliminations. So they have to be really careful. Mistake here once again. Straw Hats continues to pop up. This time SAUL loses yet another player to the Straw Hats. 6 eliminations strong. They're looking for more, but he will find his back to the Mag 7 and will shock the world as he overwhelms them. Straw Hats rising up to the occasion here. And SAUL having their souls reaped away.
It is incredible to see this coming from Straw Hats. Definitely motivated to move around the area. More proactive, in fact, compared to yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Really eager to take these fights around the area. There were 2, 3 teams already they've gone head-to-head against.
Straw Hats yesterday in Bermuda picked a total of 4 points. Now, just through the eliminations, they've got an 8 already, so they're double better than whatever they were yesterday, and we're just kicking this matchup off, and that's the kind of hunger that you see in the squad. How much more can they deliver on this battlefield? They need to keep their confidence at an all-time high, and clearly this first game helping them do exactly that. But if you are Straw Hats, you definitely want to calm down a tad bit and focus on those circles, focus on your rotations a tad bit more as well. You don't really want to be playing your luck with too many of these early engagements.
Yeah, now toward Bima Sakti, we are going to be looking at a team. Oh no, looking here over on this side. Jackal is sniped to his death so quickly. Joker is on a rampage, doing so much damage with just the snipers.
Yeah, Joker's just annihilating with the VSK. Beautiful stuff out of the guy. Once again, 5 eliminations out of the 7 that the squad has so far. We already said this is the meta of the snipers, and Joker clearly understands that, wanting to take maximum advantage of that. Della catching up with the rest of his buddies as now Straw Hats once again ends up in a very early battle. I am not liking this, but can they overwhelm Leon, who's just not the best at Bermuda in this lobby?
Yeah, they just have to just move away here as well. So Shock is going to try to find a vantage point forward. Della and also the rest of his team quickly finding time here. Who will get a double kill there somewhere? And even bringing his teammate back into the game, but Joker's not done quite yet.
One more, and Game Sting down. But the shots from Joker is absolutely annoying, but thankfully Leon does not have more numbers here alive to pressure Straw Hats. They back away, they call a truce for the time being, and Straw Hats will be able to pull Nil back into the game as well. Look at this phenomenal performance from Straw Hats. 10 eliminations already.
Crazy.
This is their best run so far. Yesterday, they got nowhere close to 10 eliminations in any one of their games.
Yeah, it's such a change in tune as RQ will be the one in trouble next. Pain from above as TG pressured them. Bullets upon bullets. A bit of a reprieve as they did manage to get the resets. And the collapse has a half a coin yet. Abe moves forward. Mal knocked down. And Abe is the last one alive. Has to survive this to bring his team back into the game. During an interview, Dutch said that yesterday was supposedly their warm-up day, but they're still facing so many problems by so many different teams in these rotations.
Abe just trying to make some magic work out of this monster truck's gonna find that gravity is not gonna be on his side. So unfortunately for him, he cannot drive away. But even if he did try, Shanky would just snuff him out in an instant. You've got Aztec there as well with an AC-80, so it's just not gonna be possible for Abe to save himself at the moment. He's just gonna hope and pray that by some luck, IQ Total Gaming just walks away from this bridge, giving him a little bit of a leeway to escape this sticky situation. RRQ left with their final player, and potentially after that Vitality, what's the rumpun?
Perang serumput.
Perang serumput. Perhaps that put them in a tad bit of a pickle. And speaking of Vitality, you're going up against Meerkorp, and Meerkorp cannot afford to lose this battle. And if they can take down Vitality, that should definitely boost.
Wanted to see Mia just try their best, not only just survive, but also be able to bring themselves into more. Diamond was just nasty as well that happened just now. In fact, area, got 2 snipes, and he was undetected throughout the entire...
He gives you out there on the battlefield with a little bit of an assistance. You saw the deadly timing from the guy, but Sibank now. Trigger discipline is there. Straw Hats understands the situation and they will secure the vending machine for themselves as well. Bangladesh still has got their dreams alive through Straw Hats. Yesterday was a disappointing run. Not a single match they managed to walk away with more than 5 points. Today, on the other hand, in this first game in itself, Straw Hats sitting on 10 eliminations. In fact, they are on fire with the eliminations. They're the best ones in this lobby so far. If they can keep this up at least for 3 games, they sure as hell will be able to escape doom from the bottom 2 spots.
You know, I think we didn't really see too much from Lost, but finally they did show their hand just now. They got a pick up onto Abe, trying to bring his teammate back into the game.
Yeah.
They did manage to come back online though, so that's really, really important for RQ. Regardless of that, still surviving alone with the Abe. Now it goes back to his team. I think it was Dudes that he brought back, so he has to be able to find a way to not only bring his team back into the game, but also survive. There we go. I think Mal is already back into the game as well, so this is massive.
Yeah, very good play here from Dudes. Managing to bring his buddies right back in, triple revive. And they pick a great spot at the observatory with the tanks of the R1's binocular scan, spotting no players there. They'll have to tank a little bit of damage from the circle, but they do have a double team booster on their side. Dirt's in a little bit of trouble there. MIB lost spotting him out, trying to shoot him out of the air, but they're going to be unsuccessful with that attempt. MIB loss is a tad bit slower today in terms of raking in those eliminations, but they really are not pressured to find more numbers out there. They're definitely going to secure the top 4 as long as they can find the final circle game after game.
You know what? I like this. Everyone has a little bit of, an area where they're holding on to. No one's really trying to really commit to this fight, but it will change very, very soon. Especially since the majority of teams are trying to get into the circle. Twisted Mind's not here yet. Leon is coming in very, very soon. And Leon has been really active this game as well. I think 9 elims so far.
Ico Total Gaming using the bridge to boost them up. That high vantage point gets them yet another elimination. That's what you need if you're from the Indian squad. You just want to be farming these points one after the other. And speaking of farming, Miyakov needs to do that exact same thing. Show us what you've shown us already in USA. Show us what you've shown us in terms of your capability of finding that final circle. Leon, just like Straw Hats, doing so much better today with their positioning.
Oh, Joker is still on a rampage with the sniper, and it's a lethal weapon in his hands. Got so many eliminations, even some chip damage to any team that's rotating away as well, which makes it so terrifying. His angle, he's going to be able to just really abuse, and it's AHL that he's going to be paying attention to. Hawk knockdown already, and over on this side here, TS also trying to find their way up onto a high ground.
Yeah, Team Secret just staying a little bit quiet in the game for the time being, wanting to just pop off a little bit later on. And because they have been quiet, nobody has really taken away the resources that they've been collecting from the very start of the match. That's going to be making Team Secret a dangerous squad within that final circle. And we know they are definitely capable of annihilating many squads out there. Jack out in the open, a very daring position for him to be holding on to. Leon's going to be losing 2 players. Make that 3, and Joker gets shot out as well. Games King is the final one alive here for Leon. Al Ahly, can you take advantage? They might be able to. And he's far, far away from any vending machine, and Al Ahly won't be able to find one. Extra point unless Games King with the valiant dash. Just a jump on that 1v2. Like the troll under the bridge, eliminates Al Ahly Esports.
We were just talking about Team Secret now, and now Anshan and the rest of the team are in trouble. Gio rushes forward, and now knocked down by Bobs. They were very much ready for it. Buxo is now here. Bobs barely alive. But somehow TS will be the team to pull themselves forward, but not for long, because Lost is close by.
MIB Outlaws just taking advantage of that situation, but now it's a battle between SHUL as well as Lost. Round 1, knocking Jack down to the ground and taking him out of the equation. Noor's out as well. Aku Total Gaming, what can you do up against RRQ? They've already built up the solid walls on top of that monster truck just to keep the Indonesian monsters away from them. And Twisted Minds will land right behind. And this is that riptide rhythm out of nowhere, courtesy of Vitality, courtesy of Straw Hats with some shots as well. And it looks like Twisted Minds is not going to be as lucky as they take the fight straight up to RRQ.
Oh my God.
But X-Bossy lighting up the battlefield, kicking RRQ out of the lobby.
It is insane seeing how Twisted Minds just rush forward, destroy RRQ, who were sandwiched between these two teams. Now TG gonna way forward here, gonna take this fight head on against Twisted Minds. The rest of the team forced forward here. TG barely alive, surviving for that time being. But now with so many teams pressuring them, Aztec takes a lot of damage already. But they're doing their best, just really lock themselves in behind all those glue walls.
Yeah, iControl Gaming has lost a ton of glue walls already in the battle. They need to take Twisted Minds out of the equation, loot them up so that they can continue to play this all the way down to the very end. But MIBR lost, closing in the distance, tossing out those nades as well. And the God Nade gets a double for them. Rick Free with the double, and he goes in for the annihilation. And just like that, iControl Gaming out of the equation. Twisted Minds up against MIBR lost. What can Southeast Asia do against the racing Brazilians?
Well, Diamond's already knocked down already and forced to move away. They have to go for this reset. Teammate brought back into the game, but the timing from Lost is too much to deal with. They're fast and they're furious. Knocked down already, but still have to worry about the rest of the team below because General knocked down. Diamond still alive. Rigby should have no problem bringing General back into the game.
Yeah, recovery is there. A cheeky nade here from Diamond. Can he get one round one? It's all up to Rigby, and Rigby, an absolute solid player for MIBR, lost in this lobby. 8 eliminations for him alone, and he was definitely cracking it as the Grenadio of the squad. But now trying to get off of that bridge is going to be a tad bit tough for Lost. SHUL Esports out as well, but placement points wise, they do manage to work away with something decent here. MIBR Lost out. As mentioned, the pressure from the circle just a tad bit too much, but Leon hanging on for their dear lives. A huge improvement from yesterday at Bermuda.
Yeah, Vitality still healthy right now. Knows where Games King is, and despite his best efforts, will be knocked down as well. A valiant effort by Leon, despite Games King being alone. That 1v2 win plus the multi-frags that he got before going out is insane.
This is what I talked about. This is what I said on the stage. Today, what we expect is the teams at the very bottom to make it into that final circle. Eliminations or not, I don't care. We want to see Straw Hats and Miyakov showing us that they've got the fight in them. They take each other on, and Bangladesh shuts down Miyakov, booking an appointment with Vitality.
Vitality wants to go for more. Who knocked out already? Nail as well. The jump shots are good. Koja on a